Hello and welcome to a Photoshop tutorial where I am going to show you how to put an image inside of text using a clipping mask. Dun, dun, dun. So the goal here is to make a cool sort of summer graphic, maybe for a blog post or a Facebook page, or wherever you wanted to put a cool little graphic about the summer. And what we want to do is get this image inside of a word, and the word is going to be summer because it's summer and summer is lovely. So as you can see, I have my image here, and this is just a picture I took of some of my friends in a canoe somewhere. And we can see that we only have one layer in the layers palette, and it is locked, which means we can try to move it around and do things to it, but it is locked up, safe and sound, and we cannot touch it. But we can duplicate it, which will give us an image to play around with, always knowing that if we need to go back to our original, it will be there for us. So to duplicate this layer, we're going to click on the layer itself, right click, or if you're on a Mac, control click, and click on duplicate layer. And that will automatically bring up a dialog box, letting us decide if we want to duplicate it within this document or in a new one. We're going to keep it within this document. So click OK, and we have an exact duplicate of our image, not locked, that we can play around with. Now, the next thing we need is we need a solid color layer to put our text on. So to do that, we're going to go to the bottom of our layers palette. You'll see a circle that's half filled in. You click on that, and go all the way to the top and hit solid color, and this will give us a layer that will be one color. This is where we can pick the color, and for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to pick white for now. Click OK. And now we have three layers. We have our original image, which is automatically called background, which is locked. We have our duplicate of that image, and we have a solid layer. Now you can only see the solid layer right now because it takes up the whole document. But if we make that invisible, we can see that our image is safe and sound underneath, doing its thing. All right, now we need some text to put that picture inside of. So over to our tools, click on the text tool, and just click somewhere within your document, and you can type your word. Summer is our word. And you can see that mine has gone off of our document page. Don't worry about that. We click on our move tool. You can then click and drag the image wherever you want. You can also see we have some transform tools on the corners and on the sides. Now if you hold down Shift and then click and drag, hold down Shift, click and drag, you can make sure that that aspect ratio will remain the same so you won't warp your text in any way. Okay, so we have some text now. Fabulous. Now I'm not a huge fan of that font. I think we should change it. So to do that, we're going to go back to our text tool, highlight it, and if we go to the top of Photoshop, we'll see a drop-down menu with all of our fonts. Oh goodness, so many fonts. Now I'm a sucker for Helvetica Neue, so I'm going to go with Helvetica Neue. Helvetica Neue is a great font because it comes with lots of different weights. We're going to go Helvetica Neue Condensed Black. Oh, look at that. That's nice and thick. It's good. So I'm just going to resize this yet again, holding down Shift to make sure that I don't warp my text in any way. And that's good. I like that. Okay, so we are now ready to create a clipping mask, putting our image inside of that text. But before we do that, we need to reorder our layers. So if we think about this logically, we want the image to go inside of the word summer. But how I want you to think about it is we want the image to clip onto the word summer. So we're going to take our image and just click and drag it and carry it to the very top of our layers panel. So now we can see that it's the very top. And summer is underneath, our word, our text that we want this image to clip onto. So right clicking or control clicking on this layer, once again, we'll see create clipping mask. Click on that. Oh, look at that. Our image is now inside of the word or clipped onto it. Now we can, if we want, click and drag the image inside to put it wherever you want. You can move it around and do whatever. I kind of like it with the trees and the sky just coming through like that. We also can still adjust our text if we want to make it different. Anyway, make it smaller, make it bigger, whatever we want. Now I'm looking at this and I'm not really enjoying this font anymore. I feel like this R is doing a weird thing and I'm not a huge fan of it. So if we go back to our text tool, we can click on the word summer and we can find a different font. We can change it. I think I'm gonna go with a nice inline font because that's kind of cool right now. Yeah, that's good. Now you can see I've done that and everything's kind of gone a little bit wonky. We see the edge of the image here and my word is going off the page. That's okay. Click on the move tool. Go back to those transform blocks on the edges. Hold down shift and adjust the text to fit back inside of our graphic. There we go. And you can click on the layer itself and move around the image. Now what's great about clipping masks is you can still adjust all of these individual elements as if they were just regular old layers. So I'm not liking the way the clouds and the sky are kind of sort of making the top of that M difficult to see right over here. So I'm going to go and I'm going to change the saturation by just going to Image, Adjust, Hue and Saturation, and upping the saturation on this layer. I'll make that nice and bright. Ooh, that's a good summer day. And now I'm looking at this, and I'm not liking my white background as much anymore. So let's change that color. Let's go to our solid fill layer and just double click on that little left-hand box. This is where you pick the color. And let's find kind of a fun kind of color to go with, maybe something kind of bright and summery. Oh, that's fun. I like that. I like the yellow with the blue and the green. And there you have it, a clipping mask putting an image inside of text in Photoshop.